poems from my book Voracity, which was published by Portland Press, Lightship Press. Very proud to have been published by them. And the book begins and ends with a poem called Voracity, so that's why you'll hear that twice, but it's a little different the second time around. And the book begins with a quotation from Allen Ginsberg: "Candor ends paranoia." Voracity. This love is massive and can no longer be contained. However, it may be possible to channel it. Pray it doesn't hurt you. From Tsunami. Your love is a tsunami making its way west across thousands of miles to wash over me. Our love is a tsunami undaunted by well-laid plans, familiar terrain, or unimaginable distances. All I ever wanted was to be larger than life, like CinemaScope, Mingus, Morrison, like this love we share. But in the face of this disaster, I laugh at my foolishness, for what is larger than this life? The tsunami teaches us the irrefutable nature of Maya. All that you see before you, whether warmly embraced or taken for granted, may be swept out to sea without warning. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. I'm so glad to be reading outdoors. My fellow poets know we don't get a lot of opportunities to read outside. So that's something that's making me happy today. And yes, so thank you. So you have to take a deep breath and believe that your words have the power to make their way across the pond to the folks on the other side. But I believe that's possible. Still passing notes. I receive daily email dispatches from Barbara Lynn in New York City, my lifeline since 1986, my best friend since she sat down at the desk in front of me in English class on her first day at Longwood High School. All these years later, she is still showing me and many others how to be human, sharing a quotation from Zen sage Alan Watts. No amount of anxiety makes any difference to anything that is going to happen. Oh, how I'd love to hear you breathe, connected yet separated, the distance between us, safety or danger, depending upon the context, which is perilously invisible, temporarily, or so we are promised to encourage calm among the populace. We have always been in the midst of this existential crisis, just not at the same time. So because of when this book came together, there are some poems in here that were written during the time we were all staying home to stay safe from the pandemic. This poem is for my friends who are living alone, meaning one person alone in an apartment or dwelling. Skin Hunger Blues. The endless search for the perfect word, the precise choice, a sigil with the weight to convey the roiling hunger of this skin, the loneliness of the human heart dying without the reassurance of a hand upon the flesh. My literal actual mask with love and appreciation for my editor, Sam Rose Preminger. Saintly equanimity, wide smile to hide the pain inside. Big wise beard to cover a double chin. Eyes of compassion, eyebrows raised at full attention, completely focused on you, interested in every word you utter. Long hair because warriors wear it that way. And all of it topped off with a halo. Turn my mask inside out to find the skull that waits patiently for us all. Terror, sorrow, judgment, intolerance, mask and all teetering atop enormous belly, giant signal that I choose not to control my appetite. Whoever's hooting and hollering over there, I want to say I love you. Thank you very much. Trust that a word may undo you, after Annie Lightheart. I hope some of you out there know Annie Lightheart's poetry. She's also a very sweet person. Isn't that great when the poets we love are also cool people, nice people? Trust that a word may undo you. Language led me back to my divinity, each line a rope vibrating with the mysteries to messin ineffability, the source of our hope. Painful stories of transgression serve as soaring sigils, holding space for our grief, our despondent fatigue, our suspicions and terrors, our leftover negativity. Language leads me in, out, and through this inevitable suffering. I invite each of you to endure it with me, closer now. Paper-cut mark of the self-aware criminal. Sometimes we hide behind pretty words, employ linguistic sleight of hand to direct the audience's attention away from the truth. Self-hatred, profound disappointment, hopelessness. But a weight lifts when we loose a torrent of unspeakable realities upon the blankness, to shriek our inadequacies and insecurities at the willing. Secrets verbalized catalyze our release from the bonds of shame. We breathe again, another survivor born into the fresh air of candor's visibility. Endure with me. I have some books for sale on the table over there, but I would be completely okay with you picking up Jalees's broadside instead. I'm totally behind that. So if you make that decision, much respect. The challenge of how beautiful a life can be after Charles White. As the realization that I was predestined for a life of the mind first occurred, I could not have predicted the chasm between internal chaos and external mystery, the gap between perceiver and perceived, the thing itself enticingly unreliable. No time for that which don't grab me, stir my soul. Cecil Taylor's piano collapses time so hard that the white heat bursts, swirls, and explodes outward. Electrifying tendrils connect my spirit with all beings sentient and inanimate, the miracle of each breath, paradoxical as the ubiquity of our desire. Let me be generator and receptacle. Dance with me, feel the electricity each time your delicious beauty whirs close to me. I have two more for you. The next one is the last poem in the book, and then we go back a few pages. So, Igor Brezhnev, my publisher, and Sam Preminger, my other publisher, they had this idea of repeating, and there's some musical themes that happen in the book, so I said, okay, we can repeat the poem at the end as long as it's like a reprise, and there's just a little bit of a difference because you've come on this journey with me, right? Voracity. This love is massive and cannot be contained. However, it may be possible to train myself to throw that weight around with care. Okay, so this is for the poets, this is for National Poetry Month in this beautiful space, and this is my last poem. This was written about doing online poetry workshops during the pandemic. Rose raises her eyes to the heavens, tells us we are angels. In search of a line, collaborating on each other's creations from our respective locations, and she sings to us, and we laugh together, encourage and reassure. Eventually the work takes a turn toward the real. Summoned by our virtual fellowship, our remote connection forged from our collective loneliness and a hunger to name all we had suppressed, to give voice to the fear, the hurt, and the rage that threatens daily to devour the spirit like a virus. Each of us driven by an innate compulsion to tell the stories that will save us. Thank you very much.